How are we, Paul?
Good, thanks, fella. How are you?
I've had a better start, but we got there.
Bloody technology.
Yeah, so can you hear me okay?
Yeah, mate, can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect. Right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Great Debate. I'm very sorry for the first poor start, thanks to TikTok being a right sausage. So, today we have Paul from It's a Bite UK, and he will be going through a few things: what he offers, baits he makes, his fishing history, and so on and so forth. So, Paul, if you want to kick us off.
Perfect. Cheers for that, mate. So my name is Paul. I'm the owner of It's a Bite UK. We're an independent bait manufacturer here in South Wales. We offer obviously your boilies, your hook baits, pop-ups, wafters, as well as your glugs and your hook bait boosters. A small range of merchandise such as clothing, stickers, mugs, and the usual stuff. I've been fishing since I was about 8 years old, mate. It's been a long time. I remember, I first started off out in the river, like most kids do. I used to go around the construction sites, nicking all the nuts off the Harris fencing to use as weights.
That's the way. That's the way.
Yeah.
So what got you into the bait side of things? Because obviously there is a massive market out there, and there's a lot of competition out there. So what made you go, right, this is the way that I'm going to go?
So I was just really I'd tried so many bait companies over the years, and then in between trying different things, the next fad, the next best thing, and then it was you still that little urge, just you want something a little bit different, and it was there was that factor. There was the cost of bait being so high at such a young age that it meant that I was constantly reading up online and stuff like that, how to make my own bait to bring costs down as well. And then it was just kind of evolved. I just got so obsessive about making the bait rather than the fishing. So now I just absolutely love it when anyone catches on, the bait that I make.
Oh, brilliant. So how long has It's a Bite been going for then?
So officially it's been going since August. But it's been, well, to be fair, I've been making bait and handing out to friends and stuff for the last 5-6 years, to be fair. It started off, I used to make handmade leaders and rigs and stuff for people. And then, they'd buy a bit off me, so I'd send them some samples of the hook baits and stuff that I was making. So it kind of got a bit of momentum with that.
Oh, brilliant. So, as part of the live, you've offered to do a bit of a giveaway. So, would you like to tell us what you're giving away?
Yeah. So the giveaway today will be a kilo of your choice of boilies, and then there'll also be a pot of pop-ups, whether it's the Monster Squid and Plum or the new pineapple, and then I'll chuck in as well a hook bait booster to go with that as well.
Well, that's brilliant. Right, so guys, if you'd like to have this giveaway, if you just want to put in the fishing emoji in the comments, you can enter as many times as you like. So it's from now up until the end, and our moderator Ash will be picking a winner after we finished up with everything else. Okay, so like I say, spam up the comments. You can put it in as many times as you like. It's not up to me to go through. It's up to Ash.
So, I'm glad I haven't got that job.
Oh god. So also we're going to be doing a poll as well. So me and Paul are going to go head to head. So I'm going to put up a poll now, and it's a choice of 3 subjects. Okay. All right. So whereabouts do you do a lot of your fishing then? Are you sort of day tickets, that sort of thing?
Yeah, so it used to be a lot of day tickets, but where I am, I'm classed as South Wales, but I'm more mid, to be fair. What it's like up in Brecon. There's bugger all. There's mountains, no lakes.
Yeah, well, you're just up the road from me, so...
Exactly, yeah. So a lot of my fishing I got to travel for. I got a lake on my doorstep, massive pike lake, but you're only allowed to fish off a boat there, which I ain't got the money for that yet. You've got to get the revenue in from the boilies.
Yeah, well, do you think...
But yeah, most of my fishing... is in like England. I travel for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is that
Mm.
sort of like Cotswolds or Somerset area, that sort of thing, or?
Wherever, mate. So like I've spent a lot of time in Hereford. Like there's a lot of lakes and pools in Hereford. So my syndicate's in Hereford. So I'm out quite often. Um, and then it's I'll go wherever I fancy. Like it's one of those things. I'll kind of like get obsessive about where I want to go, and then I hit it like constantly. Um, but yeah, like I like a road trip.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you. I do a lot of stuff down in Somerset. Families from there, so sort of like we go down there on a regular basis. Um, let's
Yeah,
say mainly payday lakes, but I'm quite lucky because where I'm actually based, we have a lot of old feeder ponds and everything for the steelworks. So
yeah,
there's
yeah.
and I do like that wild fishing, and it's a little bit quieter. You're not, and it's not as clicky, and you can sort of like disappear in the moment, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, I'd much rather that. Like, I'm not a huge fan of going to park lakes where you're surrounded by families, kids, and all that. It gets a bit tedious. You want to be relaxing. You don't want to be watching your back the whole time you're fishing. Like it was all right when I was younger. I think the naivety about it all was there, and I'd just be in the moment doing it. But now I think like as I'm getting a bit more older and I'm taking a lot more kit, like I'm just so conscious that like I'd rather be on my own, or lake exclusive with few people I know. It's more what I do.
Yeah. So see, this brings me on to the next thing. When I started, I went with a little makeshift rod which my uncle Regan had made me, and a bit of line. My first fish was a perch and everything else. Then I
Yeah,
evolved and
yeah,
carried on moving up, moving up, moving up. Do you think that we actually take too much gear now?
100%,
Yeah,
100%. So like I was well, every time I go fishing now, like I literally contemplate stripping down all my kit and reeling it back to basics. But then every time I go out again, then I'm taking the same kit.
yeah,
Like there's so many things I can't be without on the bank that I probably won't use while I'm out on the bank. It's once or twice, But I got a safety blanket that I've got it with me. I just overload the barrow, do 2 trips, and struggle.
wow. Yeah, it's yeah. I find that myself. I've got stuff in I got stuff in my rig station, a whole lot, and it's like I don't use half of it. I don't need it, but like you said, it's a safety blanket there, and it's like, well, what if something happens, if you know what I mean, or what if
Yeah,
all of a sudden you need a zig out, or you're fishing on the surface all of a sudden,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
it's madness because I still love it as much as what I did when I first started, right? But now it's much more effort.
yeah, definitely.
It's,
The worst thing is like when you think about it, like when you're a kid, you're doing it on a shoestring budget. You're getting like the second-hand hand-me-downs and all that, the generational giveaways, and then as soon as you become like an adult, you get your own money. Like the world's your oyster. Like you can have it all. It's
yeah, that brings me
and
that brings me on to the next thing. Even when you don't need gear, do you find yourself buying gear?
100%, 100%. It's an obsession. It's an obsession. Like it got to the point where I had to stop getting it delivered to the house. I was going to deliver to a neighbour and getting it like a later date kind of thing. Like,
Oh dear. Yeah, I have to tell her it costs a lot less than what it really does.
yeah, mate, we're buggered when we die. And everything's going for pennies. Like,
Oh god, yeah. So back to the bait and back to your baits. What would you say is your top seller? What's
so
describe it?
yeah,
Describe the profile and everything else.
right. So the top sellers are Tiger Nut Dairy Cream, Boilies. Like that is the best seller. It's been the most consistent all year round. When the temperatures dropped, it came into its own. Like the nutty, the milky proteins, always do well come winter. Especially with like more and more lakes banning tiger nuts. When you incorporate it into a boilie, like the fish aren't used to it, so it's just tripping more and more fish up. But yeah, it's got like the real sweet, milky, nutty aroma to it. Like it's a dream. I know quite a few people that have eaten them just because they smell so good.
Wow.
Like bizarre. But yeah, so all my boilies, I try and keep them like soft. So I don't like rock hard baits. Like I've been dead set against it. I've known for quite a while that I don't like that in a bait. So yeah, there's softer bait, so you can easily like squeeze it between your thumb, crumb it up. Like obviously when you break it open, you can see all the different nuts, like the nut meal in it. You can see the different seeds in it as well. So yeah, it's quite a coarse boilie. Same as all baits, they're quite coarse, which is what I like. It keeps the fish, feeding bottom essentially. They're not just going straight through, passing through. They're actually chewing on the bait. They're getting involved with it.
Yeah. Do you say they have sort of breakdown rate? Would you say that a single bait would sit on your hair rig or whatever rig you're using? Would you say that would last you 24 hours with no problem, and then sort of like breakdown rates?
But what I've done is I brought out the coated hard hookers for that example. So like in all 3 boilie ranges I've got the coated hard hookers. So they're dried out longer and then they're coated as well then. So they've got the extra traction with them. Those will last you 36 longer. And like if you were to use a straight boilie out the packet, I'd probably say you'd easily get, over the 24-hour mark. But then you'll obviously start to see signs of breakdown on it. But then, yeah, if you were to change up and go for, say, like the Monster Squid and Plum, you're going to get the longer, the lasting time on it, where it's more of a fish meal bait, so it's a bit harder.
There's so sort of like you've got more of an oil content there and everything else. Sort of like a lot of it's water temperature dependent as such.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about the squid one, because this is one which I am interested in.
So Monster Squid and Plum was the first bait that I ever brought out and made in public. It's one that like I put a lot of effort in over the years, and it caught so many fish in the warmer months. Obviously, it's got 3 different types of fish meals in it. It's got like one of the extra additives to it is like a salmon, squid, and octopus oil. So it complements, the fish meals, because the fish meals are quite oily themselves.
Yeah.
But obviously, with having pure oil in it, like as soon as that water temperature gets over like 10 degrees, between 8 and 10 degrees, that is just added leakage to it. It just comes into its own. It's got more like it's a ready colored bait, which a lot of fish like, I think. It kind of like stood out in the marketplace. A lot of people were using really standout baits, which just didn't make sense to me. Like I don't see the point in having something that's obviously different, whereas like you'll find with all 3 of my bait ranges are more neutral colored, using like the iron oxide color, and so they are more neutral in color.
So what is your go-to then? What say like you could only use one for the whole year, right? You can't change, it has to be one. What is your go-to?
Monster Squid and Plum
all day. What, even in the winter?
Even in the winter.
Now that's confidence. That is that's proper confidence. That is.
Yeah. it's just like it's my baby. It's I don't know what it is. Like all 3 of the bait ranges that we've got out have been tried, tested, not just by myself, by a whole team of anglers, and like quite a few other people who aren't in the team. So I know they all catch, but when it comes to it, like my default would be Monster Squid and Plum. It was the one that really takes me back to the early days of when I was making bait and all that. Like there's a few other flavors that we're testing, obviously, like any bait company, we're evolving, we're trying different things, testing this, that, and the other. But there was talks about weaning off the Monster Squid and Plum and bringing something else.
No,
and
don't do it yet.
I can't do it. I can't do it. It was more from a cost point perspective. When you're using the oils and like the quantities of fish meals in it, the cost is quite high, especially like after like COVID and stuff. So it meant like I was trying to cut down cost, this, that, and the other, and I was like, I just can't. Like I just simply cannot it needs to be the way that I stuck with and brought it out with. So
See,
yeah, it's staying.
see, I actually respect that. Although sort of like you've seen the rising costs and everything else, you haven't shied away from the quality and what it originally was. Whereas
No,
you find with some of the larger companies and everything else, they will supplement it for something cheaper. It's not
yeah,
so much you're more of a bait crafter than a bait
yeah,
manufacturer. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You,
So,
you,
so
you
look, this is
respect
the
what you're
beauty of
doing.
it. The beauty of it, like when you're smaller scale, you are more hands on. You are more conscious about what you're doing. I know, like as things start to scale, there will be times where things will have to be cut back or whatever. But I'm not at that point. I'm not focusing that far ahead. Like it's all about the now. Like what I can put out today needs to be the best quality. And it needs to service people. Like there's no point me putting shit out that's not going to catch.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Well, like I say, I do respect that, and that's it. See, this is half the reason why Nash Bait went down as well, wasn't it? Because they
Yeah.
refused to budge and change their recipes. They overstretched
Yeah.
themselves by doing, I think it was the instant action ones, which were buy
Yeah.
2 packs, get one free. Let's be honest,
Yeah.
that bait was crap. That
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
but
Rock hard. I can get on with them.
yeah, but their Scopex squid, fantastic. What was it?
Classic.
Their TG Active. Now that was one of my favourites. They
Yeah.
discontinued that because they
Yeah.
couldn't get the ingredients which they needed to make it the same as what it was. So I actually respect
Yeah.
them for saying, look, we can't afford to do this anymore. We're not going to compromise on quality. We're closing it down and we'll focus on the tackle. So I mean, what did they
Yeah.
have? 20 years in the game, something like that? To 30
Yeah.
years?
Yeah.
Could even be 30.
Yeah. I got a lot of time for Nash baits. Like I think even when you're younger, like Nash is always like the pinnacle. Like it's one of your go-tos. Like when you go to the tackle shop, is grab a tub of the Scopex squid, and like it just takes me back a whiff of that, and it just sets me off on nostalgia.
Yeah,
But they,
it's
they used to be the whiskey ranger boilies. Like
uh,
now
top
they
rod.
were game changing.
Yeah, they were
That's
top
it.
rod, weren't they? Yeah, they were. They
Yeah,
they. I remember them. Bloody hell, I was. Oh, yeah, it's going back a few years now. I think
yeah,
got to be 20 odd years ago. Easy.
yeah. It would be. Yeah, and yeah. So like I remember like I was having a blanking session out on the bank once, and it wasn't using like many of my baits. It was like using some of the what were they, sticky Manila pop ups. And I was just trying to have a great time. So I had like a litre of Jack with me. So I like poured that in with the pop ups, let them soak overnight. Like next day, I had 5 fish out. Like just because like the whiskey had soaked in, it obviously changed the pH level of the bait,
Yeah.
which is just like it was just that classic like go to, right? Like the ethanol just draws them in.
So when you're making up your baits, like what's your process? What's your thought process? To say like you're going to make a new bait. So what's your thought process on it, and how would you start? Let's
So
go through that.
yes. So yeah, like my process is usually like it's usually the need for something else that I'm not already doing, or if it's like a way I can adapt one of the ranges I've got and make it a different flavor or whatever. But usually, if I'm making a bait from scratch, it's because it needs to serve me something different. So whether I need something that's got more fat, low protein in it, like look at that. So whether it's autumn, you want to carry them on feeding, where they're slowing down a bit before winter, and that sort of thing. So it's a tough one. What makes it tick? So it all depends on what I'm setting out to do. Like there's a test bait that I've been working on, which is the krill liver and garlic, which is once again will be more of a fish meal bait. But of course, then Frank Warwick brought it up on one of his not podcast, a tracker thing about adjusting the buoyancy.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the reason I was incorporating the krill meal into the bait, because I like it's not for a sales perspective. It's for the buoyancy. I don't want it to plunge into the silt. I want it to sit on top of the silt and that sort of thing. So it's just like trying to what problems am I coming up against that I can overcome with my bait?
Yeah.
It is usually what I think of.
Oh, that's sorry, it's just popped into my head. You just had the social this weekend, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. How did that
Yeah.
go?
So I blanked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. It's bizarre, isn't it? Like the owner of a bait company blanking. I'm human. Like
Everybody does it. Anybody who says they don't
yeah,
blank is a liar. I'm sorry. Anybody?
exactly. So I don't know whether you know the guys at Fishing on Wheels, Carl
Yes,
and Kyle.
I've actually given them both an invite to come on this podcast with me. Because I think they've got a great story there. Father and son team going out. They're smashing it. They just seem like lovely lads. I've been watching a lot of their content. So
yeah, they're an absolute pleasure to have on the team. Like I've got like quite a few team members now, and like absolute legends. Like I wouldn't be where I am. Like it's hard enough doing business without your customers, this, that, and the other. But then if you get a good team behind you, like they're all singing from the same hymn sheet. They're getting the message that where I'm coming from, and then they're not doing it to blow smoke up my ass. Like they're doing it for the love of it. They like what I'm doing. But yeah, Fishing on Wheels are like top boys. They manage like the only people to catch the whole weekend. They have 4.
yeah. Well, it shows that. Well, obviously they were using your bait, but it obviously shows that they have a bit of a clue of what they're doing. So we're having a couple of questions come through, Paul. So I will fire them over to you. So first one is from Callum Brandish. If money was no object, what setup would you buy and why?
It wouldn't be one setup. Like it'd be an amalgamation of so many different brands. Like I'm not a tackle tart in any way. I'd stick with my Nash T2 Camo Pro Bivy. That's a no-brainer. I absolutely love my Shimano XTD 14,000 reels. They're not going anywhere. I'd probably then, I'd probably look at getting a set of Shimano TX2s. Like they're nothing over the top in terms of rods. They'll do me. I'd probably upgrade my alarms from the Fox MXs to the RXs. Why not? Money no object. I'd then probably go with some like ESP like bank sticks. Like I'm a big fan of bank sticks where I can, and the ESP ones are lovely.
Would you say bank sticks over rod pod?
Oh, like it's horses for courses. Like if I can get away with it, it will be bank sticks. But obviously, like a lot of like the commercial fisheries are all barked. They're all pebble chipped or whatever. You ain't getting your sticks in the floor.
All right, another one for you. So, would you rather known stocked lake with a 40 or an unknown lake with an unknown stock, but you've seen 2 fish of at least £30?
Definitely second option.
Yeah. So why is that?
Definitely.
What's the draw of it?
I think I want the picture with the backdrop that no one's seen. It's the adventure with it as well, isn't it?
I think it's also like the hunter gatherer instinct. You've got to hunt. So I personally, I'm not a big fan of runs waters. I do use them. I will go to get a bend in the rod, but out of choice, I'd rather go to an unknown stock, unknown pond, and just sort of like try to hide away there, if you know what I mean, and try to break it myself.
Yeah, definitely. Like they're very few and far between these days. Like waters that no one knows about or no one's fishing and all that stuff. But yeah, they're still out there. You know.
Do you think that I mean, we're using social media at the moment, we're having a chat and we, whatnot, but do you think that social media has almost taken that away from us, if you know what I mean? So because everything is nothing's private anymore, is it? There's
No,
no
no,
such thing as
like,
undisclosed.
no, exactly. Like if you're not posting on social media, people are messaging you asking why you're not posting on social media. It's that world we're living in at the moment. But yeah, I think definitely social media's got like it's
So,
funny, but like
sorry, Paul. I'm not sure if you just seen that seen that comment that's just come up. So this is from my lovely partner, right? Question for
yeah,
both. It's specially Dan. What's the most you've spent on a single fishing item?
£1.50, mate. You tight bastard.
I was gonna say £1.99 ish.
Yeah,
So, oh, classic. I like that one. That'll go in the highlights.
stitched you right up there.
Oh, didn't she just? There was another one. I think it was from Carpy Craig. If you could have started selling bait sooner, would you?
No,
No. I'm sorry, Carpy
no.
Craig, if I didn't quite get that right, but my mod isn't exactly sending them through to me very quickly. Ash.
Yeah, I feel like I needed that time to develop the baits on my own before I could then pass them out for testing before it went public. There's no point me rushing. The first bait that I ever made. First bait I ever made was a strawberry and Indian spice milk-based boilie, and like I used to have it right off with it, but like I never pursued it. It's one of those ones I've got all the ingredient list written down for a rainy day. But Indian spice is coming harder to find now, to be fair. So it's one of those things.
Okay. Here goes another one. I think it's what have It's a Bite UK got coming up in the future, and that's from Callum again. Callum Brandish again.
Oh, he's a keno, isn't he? He loves it.
Don't forget,
So,
keep spamming it with the fish emoji. We're gonna do the draw in the next. Well, we're gonna do the draw in the next sort of like 10, 15 minutes. If that's okay with you,
yeah,
Paul? Yeah.
yeah, suits me. I can't remember what the question was now. So
What have you got coming up? What have you got
right.
coming up for the future?
So I've got the pink Himalayan rock salt is going live on the website this week, and then I've got the rest of the hookbait ranges. They're still drying at the moment, and before they're potted and going live. So yeah, they're the chocolate orange flavor, the classics. People like that fruity, desserty smell.
It's
But
almost like
yeah,
a nostalgia sort of smell, isn't it? It sort of like takes you
yeah,
back, sort
yeah.
of thing.
So yeah, another one that I've got to bring back is I've done a limited run of marbled hook baits. So they're like pink and orange swirled pop-ups. So they were like more of a fruity smelling one, like different ones, like with like pineapple, peach. There's a bit of pepper in there, tutti frutti, and it was just like a real like fruit salad, like classic smell. But then I also done then a yellow with like a brownie color, like mixed. So it had like the swirl to it, and that like the base on that was a lime flavoring.
Right.
So it was like real potent smelling, and they just flew off the shelf like within days. So it's just a case of like getting that kind of response off something. It is like, do I do something that like not a lot of people are doing, like the marbled hook baits. I know they take a lot more time to make, and they're a bit more like specialist in that way. But yeah, I really enjoy doing stuff like that. It's just yeah.
So what? Sorry, going back to you, mate. Again, I'm sort of like all over the shot. I'm sorry about this, Paul, but yeah.
All right.
What sizes do you actually do? I for
So
one, I like my big baits.
Yeah.
I've gone from sort of like fit the standard 15s, moved up to the 18s, sometimes 20s. I found I was
Yeah.
getting more bites on that because
Yeah.
everybody else is using 15s. I've moved up do you understand?
Yeah.
So the reason why I
Yeah.
ask is because obviously I like my big baits. Do you do big baits?
Yeah. Yeah. So like previously, all I ever rolled, I was hand rolling 16 mils. Like the 18 mil machine is up and running now. So like it's 18 mil as standard. I've also got a 14 mil roller that's currently being built as well. So there's that, but at the same time, I can still roll 11 mils, 12 mils, 14 mils, the 16 mils, by hand. It's nice to have that versatility, but I think the most popular is the 18 mils. I certainly found when I was fishing, like if you were fishing like 15 mils, you go and put like an 18 mil on, all of a sudden, like your head of fish, like you're getting bigger fish. You kind of like weed out the smaller ones with it.
Yeah.
I
So
found, yeah,
like I say, I mean, I fished one place. I think it was over in the New Forest. It was a match, and I thought, right, I've fished bigger baits and everything. Perfect. I got picked up by Bream on double 18 millers.
bloody,
Double 18 millers. I'm trying to get away
yeah,
from them, right? So I stepped up to 18 mil, picked up. Went to double 18. I was still getting picked up by Bream. That sort of like stage you want 24 millers, let's big old European style donkey chokers.
yeah, I love it. I mean, one of my favorite tactics, to be fair, is like getting two baits, core out the middle, bit of cork in it, and using that like on a D rig. It's just been such a good rig for me over the years.
So that's almost like a wafter rig, isn't it? You're taking some,
That's
you're giving
it.
it a little bit of buoyancy to it, and it also looks different as well.
That's it. Yeah.
And I think the fish also finds it harder to eject. Do you know, because it is a bigger bait, they
Definitely.
find it harder to eject. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah, and like quite often, like about every time I've had a bite on it, it's always nailed right in the corner of the mouth. So it like obviously like having just enough buoyancy to get it up off the bottom, but there's enough of a top heavy weight to it almost.
Yeah.
So it kind of like draws it back, I think.
So
Yeah.
what's right? Let's do a couple of quick fire. What's your go-to rig?
Go-to rig will be a slip D.
Okay. Do you think moon phases affect the fishing?
No, no. Pressure does though.
Yeah. Yeah, completely agree with you on that. If you were a sponsored angler, which team would you want to be sponsored by?
Oh, that is a tough one. Because I'm so broad. I use bits off every team. Like I'm a big fan of like Ridge Monkeys stuff. They've got a lot more to offer for me, I think, especially because obviously I do all the bait and all that myself. So yeah, Ridge Monkey's got the best range of tackle.
Ooh.
For me anyway.
Ooh.
I love Ridge Monkey.
Yeah, I've got a few Ridge Monkey bits. I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest with you, I think if you're a sponsored angler, you're almost hindered. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to stay within that brand. I
Yeah.
like taking the best of, say, Avid, and then take the best of Nash. And, Nash, they do the Twister Longshanks, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic hook. One of the best hooks I've ever used for a flipper
Yeah.
rig, which made very famous by Terry Hearn, actually. Yeah, and
Yeah.
honestly, one of the best hooks I've ever used for it. They're strong, hard gauge, but I wouldn't get that through going through Avid or Corda or Ridge Monkey. That's
This is it. So I mean, like I'm so wide with thing, but like I'm also like very particular. There's certain things I like from certain companies, and it has to be that way. I'm not gonna like change, like what sort of hook patterns I'm using, this, that, and the other. Like I just like to stay consistent and confident. It's like leads. So, like I've been with like Voodoo leads and tackles for years now. So Chris has been real good to me over the years. But I just won't shift from their leads. Like their coatings are so consistent on the leads, and they do like hex distance lead. Like so, even if you want like a 2.5 ounce, like I like using the 4 and 5 ounces in them.
right.
Like, and they're just like bang on the money, like every time. like I'm not a fan of paying over the odds for leads from tackle shops and stuff. I'd rather stick with the one supply from Dave Dark.
Do you believe in dropping leads?
There's time and place. I personally use a lot of heli rigs, but like, so I don't plan on dropping the rig a lot. Like dropping the lead a lot. It's not for me. Not unless I'm fishing somewhere real weedy, and then you're kind of like preempting it, But then I tend to fish like a lighter lead in that setup anyway.
Yeah, because you'll find it's sort of like more over a choddier, siltier bottom where you'll get that plug anyway, which gives you almost like that extra ounce, exactly. 2 ounce, 3 ounce at a time. So right, there was one question. I'm sorry, I'm not sure who it was from, but it was.
I think it's from Jack.
Pop up, wafter, or bottom bait. You can only use one of them for the rest of your life. Which one would it be?
Wafter.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, or bottom bait.
Yeah. Sorry, Jack. I just seen it was you. So, right, guys, you have 2 minutes to spam the chat with your fishing emoji. Right. Give us some likes. If you liked what you've actually heard today, I will get Paul back on because I do want to do battle with this lad and have a debate with him. I will sort out the poll. I'm going to fall out with TikTok massively. But no, Paul, it's been great chatting with you. I appreciate
you having me on.
I do believe that me and you are going to be doing a bit of a collaboration through the summertime, aren't we? Where we're
Hopefully, I'm really looking forward to this. To be fair,
where we're going to be
right up my street.
Yeah, going to be taking on a 250-acre reservoir, which is about 5 miles round, low stock. So I think that's going to be a backbreaker, and it's all going to be filmed as well. That'll be going onto the YouTube channel together with this after it's all been edited. They say you can't polish a turd, but I'm going to have a good go. So
we'll roll it in glitter later.
We'll get it right. So, like I say, guys, 1 more minute left, and then we're going to get Ash to pick the winner at random. Paul, like I say, mate, it's been absolutely great. I
appreciate you having me on.
Oh, I appreciate your patience. Like I say, few technical difficulties, but we got there in the end, and it's been a lot of fun.
It's definitely well worth it.
So I think the next one is with NW Bait Labs on the 2nd of March. Sorry, Lucas, if I've got that wrong. I will double check though. I will put another post up. But like I say, if you can just sort of like drop us a like, a few follows, that sort of thing, and we'll keep it all going. Same as It's a Bite UK. Please get over to them. Check out their shop. Check out their website. If you've got any questions for Paul, just drop him a message. I'm sure he's happy to answer.
Exactly. Yeah. We're on all social medias. I'm always active anyway. Drop us a message and I'll get back to you.
Excellent. Right, Ash. The competition is now closed. If you would like to pick someone, please, out the comments. Oh, Jack.
Oh, well in, Jack.
Jack, if you just want to send over your details to Paul.
Yeah, if you want to send me a message, mate, and I'll sort it out for you.
Yeah, and then we'll sort our side out as well. All right, buddy?
Yeah, perfect. No
Paul,
problem.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being so patient, and thanks for the discussion. So,
that's all right, mate. I'll catch you again soon.
Yeah, I'll drop you a bell soon. All right, cheers.
Cheers,
guys, thank you very much, and I will see you again soon. I'm sure I'm going to be popping up and down on here anyway. All right, cheers, guys. Oh, Ash, thank you very much.
Cheers, Ash.
Catch you later. Bye.